Created by the Duffer Brothers, Stranger Things is one of the biggest and most influential television shows of the modern streaming era. Since its debut in 2016, the series has become a global phenomenon because of its emotional storytelling, unforgettable characters, nostalgic 1980s atmosphere, supernatural mysteries, and cinematic production quality. The show combines horror, science fiction, friendship, adventure, suspense, comedy, and emotional drama into one powerful experience. At its core, Stranger Things is not only about monsters and alternate dimensions. It is a story about friendship, growing up, family, trauma, love, sacrifice, and courage. The series manages to feel both nostalgic and fresh at the same time. It takes inspiration from classic 1980s movies by directors like Steven Spielberg and John Carpenter while creating its own unique identity. Story overview. The story begins in the small town of Hawkins, Indiana. Everything appears normal until a young boy named Will Byers mysteriously disappears. His disappearance shocks the town and begins a chain of terrifying supernatural events. Soon, Will's friends discover a strange girl with shaved hair and mysterious psychic powers. This girl, 11, becomes the emotional center of the series. As the story develops, the audience learns about the existence of the Upside Down, a terrifying alternate dimension connected to Hawkins through secret government experiments. Over multiple seasons, the characters battle horrifying creatures, uncover dangerous conspiracies, and face emotional struggles while growing from children into young adults. What makes the story powerful is the balance between supernatural horror and human emotion. The monsters are frightening, but the emotional journeys of the characters are what truly make the show memorable. Atmosphere and nostalgia. One of the strongest elements of Stranger Things is its atmosphere. The show perfectly recreates the feel of the 1980s. From the clothing and hairstyles to the music and arcade culture, every detail feels authentic. The soundtrack is especially iconic. Synth-heavy background music creates tension and mystery, while classic songs from the 1980s make emotional scenes even more powerful. Songs featured in the series became massively popular again because of the emotional impact they carried within the story. The cinematography also deserves praise. Hawkins feels alive and realistic. The dark forests, abandoned labs, flickering lights, and eerie fog create an unforgettable visual style. The Upside Down itself is one of the most creative horror settings in modern television. Character review. 11. 11 is the heart of the show. Introduced as a mysterious and quiet girl with telekinetic abilities, she quickly becomes one of television's most beloved characters. Her journey from a frightened child to a confident and emotionally strong person is incredible to watch. She struggles with identity, loneliness, trauma, and the desire to belong. Despite her powers, she remains emotionally vulnerable, which makes her relatable and human. Her relationship with Hopper and Mike adds emotional depth to the series. 11 represents strength, survival, and emotional resilience. Mike Wheeler. Mike is the emotional leader of the friend group. Loyal, brave, and compassionate, he cares deeply for his friends and especially for 11. His determination to protect the people he loves is admirable. Mike's character reflects the innocence of childhood mixed with the confusion of growing up. His emotional honesty makes him relatable, especially for younger audiences. Dustin Henderson. Dustin is often considered the funniest and most lovable character in the series. His humor, intelligence, and optimism bring balance to the darker moments of the show. What makes Dustin special is his kindness. He is genuinely caring and loyal to his friends. His friendship dynamics with Steve Harrington became one of the best surprises of the series. Dustin also represents curiosity and intelligence. He often helps solve mysteries using logic and creativity. Lucas Sinclair. Lucas begins as the cautious and skeptical member of the group, but his character becomes increasingly layered as the show progresses. He is brave, realistic, and protective of his friends. Lucas also experiences internal conflict between fitting in socially and staying loyal to his true friends. His development in later seasons is especially strong and emotional. Will Byers. Will is one of the most emotionally tragic characters in the series. His connection to the Upside Down leaves deep emotional scars. He struggles with trauma, isolation, and the fear of not fitting in. Will's emotional vulnerability makes him incredibly sympathetic. Even when he is not the center of the action, his presence influences the emotional tone of the story. Jim Hopper. Hopper starts as a rough and emotionally broken police chief but becomes one of the strongest father figures in modern television. His relationship with Eleven is beautifully written. Beneath his tough exterior is a deeply caring and protective man dealing with grief and loss. Hopper provides emotional grounding to the series. His humor, bravery, and emotional moments make him one of the best characters in the show. Joyce Byers. Joyce is one of the most determined and emotionally powerful characters. Many people dismiss her early fears as paranoia, but she never stops fighting for her son. Her emotional intensity and fierce love for her children drive much of the story forward. Joyce represents the unstoppable strength of a parent protecting family. Steve Harrington. Steve's transformation is one of the greatest character arcs in television. Initially introduced as a stereotypical popular teenager, he gradually becomes one of the most heroic and lovable characters. His friendship with Dustin is hilarious and heartfelt. Steve evolves into a protector and mentor figure while still maintaining humor and charm. Many fans consider Steve one of the best-written characters in the series because of his growth and emotional maturity. Villains and horror elements. The monsters in Stranger Things are terrifying, creative, and memorable. Demogorgon. The Demogorgon from Season 1 became instantly iconic. Its mysterious appearance and brutal attacks created genuine fear and suspense. Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer is one of the most fascinating supernatural villains in modern television. Unlike a simple monster, it feels intelligent, ancient, and overwhelmingly powerful. The psychological fear it creates is more disturbing than physical violence. Vecna. Vecna introduced a darker and more psychological style of horror. The character's design, voice, and emotional manipulation made him incredibly effective as a villain. Season 4's horror atmosphere became more mature and intense because of Vecna's presence. Season-by-season review. Season 1. Season 1 is nearly perfect television. The mystery surrounding Will's disappearance immediately hooks viewers. The pacing is excellent, the emotional stakes feel real, and the atmosphere is incredibly immersive. Every character contributes something meaningful to the story. The balance between horror, adventure, friendship, and emotion is masterful. Rating, 10 out of 10. Season 2. Season 2 expands the mythology of the Upside Down while exploring the emotional consequences of Season 1. Some parts move slower than the first season, but the emotional development is excellent. The bond between the characters becomes stronger, and the final episodes are thrilling. The introduction of new characters adds fresh energy to the series. Rating, August 5th, 10. Season 3. Season 3 takes a more colorful and entertaining approach. The summer setting, mall atmosphere, humor,